Hi, my name is Lizzie Woolley, and I have been coming to Byfield Parish now for 16 years, and I am now the children's coordinator here at church. When this children's coordinator position was first created, I guess, 2 years ago, I was really interested in it, but far too fearful to take it. And the big part of that was running VBS. Running our vacation Bible school program was incredibly intimidating to me, and so I didn't go for the job. And then come a year later, the position became available again, and I took it. I was mostly excited for the job, and I really enjoyed coordinating the Sunday school program, and we had started a new program last year for after school called Recess that we had for children to come from the community and have a chance to play together since they were all remote learning. And I found that really fun to do. But still, VBS was just in the back of my mind, a nagging anxiety. Every time I would think about VBS or start thinking about planning VBS, my stomach would just flip with anxiety thinking about it. And so I went on like that for a little while, and then sometime in January, I finally learned to just turn my anxious thoughts into prayers. And so I just turned all my anxieties over to God, and I just prayed. Anytime an anxious thought would come into my mind, I would just pray instead. My go-to would typically be to go and talk to some of my girlfriends or my husband or anyone really who would listen to me, or even turn to Google to help me solve my problems. So a little slow on the uptake that really God is the one that I should have been consulting all that time. And by turning all those anxieties over into prayer, it was just a game changer for me. I started planning VBS and it was going well. And then sometime in like late April, I thought I was going to have to shut registration off at around 60 to 70 kids because we didn't have enough volunteers lined up to accommodate that any more children. But we reached out to the congregation and asked people if they would be willing to help. We made an announcement during church, and the response was just amazing. We had so many people step forward and help us out, and because of that, we were able to host over 100 kids at VBS, which was just awesome. And then I was just really pleased and surprised that when VBS week came, I didn't feel anxious at all, which was not normal for me that first day of VBS. And it was raining, which put a kink in the plans and could have caused and did cause a little bit of chaos, but manageable chaos. And when I had to get up front and speak to the group of kids, I didn't have the normal racing heart or rapid breathing that I typically do when I've had to public speak in the past. And I know that that was just all God, His Holy Spirit intervening on my behalf, because I had prayed for His confidence and for His strength and calm. And so it was just amazing to have this program that I was so fearful to run. And then when the week came and it just went, I just saw God's kindness and faithfulness through the whole thing. My takeaway from that whole experience was just what a gift it is we have in prayer. I know I personally, and I'm sure a lot of people take that for granted or forget that we even have such amazing access to God. So now from this experience, I have been just encouraged and am turning all things over to God in prayer, particularly this year as we start Sunday school again. And we're starting another program, not new, but we haven't done in a while, or I haven't facilitated, called Super Sunday Nights, which is VBS on a much smaller scale. So I'm excited. Instead of feeling anxious and fearful, I'm excited to see God work through that programming, and how you can pray for me and our children's programming at large is just that God would continue to provide the volunteers we need and children who are ready to come and hear the gospel and learn about God and how He loves them and how we can love them. How you can be praying for me is just for God to remind me to remember His faithfulness and remember how well VBS went, and the power of prayer, to not forget about that and take that for granted, and to just continually be covering all of our children's programming in prayer, and the congregation can do that as well, to cover our children's programming and youth programming and prayer, because we have so many children who come from our community. It would just be an amazing thing to know that our church family as a whole is praying for all these children.